Welcome to What a Time to Be Alive, the only podcast counting down everything this week that made you say, what a time to be alive. And now, Patrick Monahan, Kath Barbadoro, and Eli Uden.
Folks, welcome to What a Time to Be Alive, the only podcast that counts down things each week to make you say the thing that's the title of the podcast. I'm Patrick Monahan.
I'm Kath Barbadoro.
I'm Eli Uden. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
You're missing out on some visual bits that have been enabled by Patty and Kath figuring out that you can hit a button on Zoom to make emojis float over your voice.
Whatever emoji you want.
This is really distracting that I know this now. I really have to stop.
I like how you just put one of those like little red demon guys and it just sits there. Like it's not even clear how long it stays for.
I was hoping there was like a red demon reaction, like it would float up or like make my eyes turn black or something.
Yeah, it just indicates you've been cursed. If you're in a meeting.
Demonify me.
Yeah. Well, it's good. And, Zoom will handle it well. Zoom will probably, like funnel all of your computer's power into doing the emojis and be like, I've turned off recording and video and audio, but here comes demon
This
face.
also uses AI somehow. It's sucking up water.
I hope it's using AI. I mean, that's...
Fingers crossed.
If it's not using AI, what are we even doing at this point?
Yeah, it's good. I was... looking up some stock photos for work, and I was trying to find a photo of a hedgehog, and I don't know if you guys know this, there's like a billion. Like we have so many photos of hedgehogs, and still they were like AI generated ones. And I was like, we don't even need this.
We have enough of these.
It's just an AI generated photo of a hedgehog on a log, and I'm like, there are literally millions of this photo for free that, we don't need to fire 1,400 gallons of water into the trash can to make.
I'm pretty confident that if the percentage of human beings who, when encountering a hedgehog, take a picture of it has got to be like 80%.
Oh, if not higher.
Yeah,
you got to document that.
Of course, you're going to document that.
I looked in. That was a pandemic almost. Not that close, but I was thinking hedgehog possibly. They're apparently not great. They're
stinky.
Just like. They're like they live a reverse schedule of humans. They're nocturnal. People, I guess, don't look this up, which isn't surprising based on how people handle like dog breeds. But they're like nocturnal, and their favorite thing to do is scratch. And so then people get them, and they're like, "Hey, my hedgehog won't stop scratching all night." And people are like, "That is literally what a hedgehog does. It's like its main drive to be is to dig while in the night." So you've just kind of made a bad decision here, unfortunately.
They are very cute, though. There was a kid in my dorm in college.
A little podcast studio for him, so then you don't hear him out, like a little silent room,
a little soundproof room, that he can dig in.
Yeah,
but then he'll dig through
hedgehog?
the soundproofing. Yeah, I'm trying to find a picture to send to y'all. There was a dude on my floor who had one, which that again, that's how I know they're stinky, because college dorm hedgehog, that's stinking up a room, that's stinking up a hallway.
I feel like a burrowing animal, I feel like you see a den, like when you see one of those cottage core images of a little den cave, and you're like, oh, that's so cute. And it's it smells crazy in the den.
Not a lot of ventilation.
Yeah. Any animal that makes a den probably shouldn't be owned by people, I think. We can just come across those in a quaint forest walk or something. We don't need those in our homes.
Outside of dogs, they're allowed.
Yeah,
dogs don't really make a den. We've
basically taken them out of it.
Yeah,
they say that's why you put them in a crate, is they think it's their den. But then it does feel pretty generous.
Yeah,
they're like, why is your dog digging at night? And they're like, two options: A, your dog thinks that's their den, and they're making it more comfortable for themselves. Like option B, your dog likes to scratch things. It thinks it's fun, and it's funny to them.
It's funny to them.
Probably a little more B. It's funny to them. Yeah.
Kath is holding a hedgehog in this photo.
I sent a pic of child me. I think I'm probably 19 in that picture, holding a hedgehog.
Oh yeah, that's not child.
Very seriously regarding it.
Yeah,
I feel like I look like a John Singer Sargent portrait of me holding a hedgehog.
You look very somber.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hedgehog's super that's the thing, is this soft underbelly, but man, it really is just an absolute, so protected up top, and then their bellies are the most fragile looking thing in the world. It looks like if you poke one, it would explode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many weak points on that build, I think.
Yeah. Just devolve some spines on the. Yeah, you're going to drag them around. They'll get caught on stuff, but why not cover it up? You
just
could be
get your
impervious.
legs a little longer, and then get the spines on the bottom.
Hey, armadillos, just keep growing those things. Get them all the way around. Make it the pangolins. What's a pangolin situation on the tummy? What's a pangolin tummy looking like?
Armadillos is like the armadillo, because you used to see them along the road in Texas. I've never seen a live one. Their biggest predator is huge, like Texas SUVs and like souped up pickup trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, there's no amount of shell you can evolve that's gonna beat a like 2024 Dodge Ram. Like that, you're fucked.
Right, like
the car everyone in Texas has,
a gigantic
specifically to run over armadillos.
Pickup truck with a pristine bed in the back that has never had anything in it.
Yeah, no, an armadillo's natural predator is the NFL place kicker. Sends them 50, 60 yards through the uprights. Just
Man,
boots them.
I hate that I would love to see that. It's the definition of animal cruelty, but it would be fun to watch one of those things get drop kicked.
You just want to put one of those guys in a big old pinball machine, get them going.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I don't know. Put it in a little football helmet and toss it.
Yeah, it's like Pokemon pinball, knocking a sand shrew around in there. They like it. It seems like
I like
motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what you say before you kick it into the stands.
That's what you say every time you pull the little plunger to make the ball go, to make him go flying into the little things.
Oh man,
Bon voyage, motherfucker.
And then all the paddles are just different Dodge Rams, and then it just goes bing, 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 bing,
knocking them around. Man, I looked up. I was curious, like for an article, or whatever, and I was like, "How many miles per gallon did a Ford Model T get?" And I was like, "We've probably made some progress." No, like a lot of trucks get less miles per gallon than the Ford Model T did.
Damn.
It's like just been the same. So it's like, oh god, all right, not great.
I'm sorry, that's freedom of speech. So,
oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a flex actually.
There's actually a ruling that just came down. The amount of carbon emissions you have is actually free speech. So
it's considered a form of speech. Yes.
It's illegal for the government to restrict that, and that's that's just a preview of what's coming sometime in the next 5 years. We'll call it probably 4.
Yeah.
Get it.
Rolling coal is actually truck speech. That's
right.
Free truck speech.
That's right.
I'm allowed to do it.
And now like a portion of when you buy a car with under a certain number of miles per gallon, it is also a political contribution, which is nice. Since
Correct.
It's a form of speech. So that's cool.
That's true as well. So, get ready for everything is going to get so awesome. So check that out.
Rolling coal by the polling place. And that's my statement. All right. I'm going to leave everybody looking like a chimney sweep. All their ballots are unreadable because it's covered in black soot.
We count those.
Yeah.
That's what the GOP head says. We count those. Those are us.
Chimney sweeps are coming back because cars have gotten so big they need someone to crawl up there and deal with the rolling coal.
You gotta get in there.
You gotta get in there.
Like those kids outside of my high school would like saw the muffler off their Kia, and it would sound like sound like a jumbo jet was landing every time they rolled up for fucking geography.
Man. It was. I feel like this probably doesn't happen anymore because Fast and the Furious movies aren't as big. But like, I loved the like huge spoiler on a Honda. Like that was so big in my high school. Just throwing a massive spoiler on the back of your like entry level. Your well liquor car. You're like So
I mean, that car is in huge danger of lifting off the ground at top speed. So you gotta make sure the drag is correct.
I guess that's true. Yeah,
you need some downward force on the
unbalanced.
Get some downward force on your front wheel drive Honda Accord or whatever.
I mean, I used to drive a Honda Fit, and if you were like up on an overpass and you got a little bit of crosswind, it was dicey. It was very.
Dude, I was walking my dog last night, and I was waiting for a car to pass, and it was a smart car, and I like legitimately was like, I think I could just walk in front of that, and I would be mostly okay. Like I really was looking at it, I was like, I think I could like stop it with my hand, like a Looney Tunes style. I didn't, because the dog was with me.
Just do
otherwise you would have. That's what prevented you from
like a double armed Hulk smash, and then you do and it like on the front of the the front hood, and then it will just flip over you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's like if you hit it hard
Enough downward force.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could trip a smart car. Like if you stuck your leg out, it would like tumble down the street.
When I was in high school, we went on a school school trip to Italy. Like some kids, like a teacher took us over to Italy, and a bunch of the boys one night spent like most of the night moving smart cars around a parking lot manually because they thought it was funny.
That's a good time. That's something the boys get up to for sure.
It was a good hijinks. Just
throwing a couple
playing
zins.
that. You know that little game in the like little traffic game that's like in the therapist's office? Yeah, Rush Hour.
They're absolutely goated board game.
So good. Rush Hour fucking rocks. They were doing that with real cars. It was good stuff.
They're just doing the Mentos commercial.
Buddy, let me tell you.
What's the Mentos commercial?
You haven't seen the Mentos, the original Mentos commercial? Like
I feel like I've seen the Mentos commercial where it's like a number of capers, but I don't remember a Rush
There's
Hour.
one where like
Fresh Maker.
There's like two big hunky guys who pick up a car that's blocking blocking a lady in, and she kind of
blocking a babe,
and then she hits them with the kind of like combo Mentos, like the Mentos thumbs up, you know, like yeah, that was like the original. I don't know when this first came out in the 90s. I guess you were both babies, so it's hard to.
No, I remember these. They never showed
I remember variations on this theme, but I don't remember this.
Yeah,
one. I explained the Diet Coke break commercial to the young people the other day. Y'all have seen that one, right? Where it's all the ladies in the office and they're like, Diet Coke break, Diet Coke break, Diet Coke break.
That's a classic.
It's so great. And then they go over, they all get their Diet Cokes and they go over to the window and watch a hunky construction worker jackhammer. And that's their code for
that was going somewhere before
outside.
You said hammer.
No.
I was like, they go to the window and watch a hunky construction worker jack off.
I remember this. Like, this is a classic.
I was going to say they never show the moment after because, you know, they flip the Mento out of the pack with their thumb, and based on my experience with Mentos, it then flies directly under the driver's seat of a car. That's where the Mento belongs.
I feel like in the final mix of these podcasts, the sound effects are never as loud as they are for us, but it is.
They come in hot.
So loud.
I mean, the Mentos thing
over.
that was really, there was like the artifacting from the old audio was sounded like there was a room full of snakes that we were all in. The amount of hissing going on.
Shelby, like the Young Thug meme, just leaning over, just slowly moving the sliders on the mixer up with the Mentos theme.
Yeah. So the original Mentos ad, just to give you the full.
It was more of a visual.
I don't know. I love that jingle. I think it's great.
It's a great jingle. There's a lady coming out of a cafe, and like some business jerk boxes her in, basically parks too close for her to be able to get out, and he's in his suit and he kind of goes like shrugs. He's like, I gotta go to an important meeting or something, but he's just in the cafe, so you know, fuck him. And then the big guys in overalls come in and they lift her car up, and he kind of looks out the window, the business guy, and he's like, what the? And it's like, well, you know, in a more modern commercial, they probably would move his car or like tip his car over into the road onto its roof.
They smash his windshield with a baseball bat, and then she gives them the Mentos.
They kill him.
Up.
Yeah, they just
put
go
a
in there.
puck of thermite on his hood and they melt it through the engine.
They drag him out of the cafe and they beat him to death.
While the jingle plays, it's really good.
And then she
been made
hits
fresh.
So Mentos, pretty good. I think
that would be a good fresh maker Mentos
I used
ad.
to be all about Mentos. I used to love those little things.
Really?
Yeah.
You used to be older than you are now?
I know,
you
right?
To be an old child.
We've established I liked Necco wafers as a kid too. I liked old people candy as a kid. Big fan.
Kath had the
grew
Jack
up on
disease.
a road trip.
Yeah.
I had the Jack disease. Yeah. No,
but
I feel
they
like
fixed it.
I feel like the thing that put me off the Mentos was seeing what it did to the Diet Coke. And like, I drink a lot of Diet Coke. I can't be mixing those. I can't be creating like mustard gas in my stomach.
Oh, okay. The way you phrased that was funny, where you were like, what it did to the Diet Coke. Like, it was one of those things where someone leaves a steak in Coca-Cola. It's like, oh God, is this what Mentos are doing to my inside? And everyone's like, no. 100% no.
I can't believe they would treat Diet Coke that way. It's really upsetting.
Surely this is not what the Diet Coke is doing. Nothing to my insides.
No. If I gotta pick one, I'm just saying.
On its own, it's fine.
I did
it's
see.
Healthy. It's healthy.
I did see that there was like one of those fun things where I saw, you know, the guy like eats Mentos and Diet Coke like at the exact same time, and you're like, oh, this is probably gonna be one of those boring videos where it just doesn't do anything. But he did throw up a lot of foam, so that was pretty cool.
God.
Shoe nice style.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Should we do numbers?
Hey, Eli,
Let's
do you
do
have
it.
something you want to promote?
Number
yeah. Wait.
I'm going to be eating Diet Coke and Mentos. No, my special taping is January 24th at The Gutter. There are 2 shows, 7:30 and 9:30. If you're listening to this podcast, you have access to a promo code for half off, which is Pigeons Fly. You can enter that. It's you can buy tickets at either tickets.eliuden.com or tickets.illegaldrugmarketplace.com, which is a domain I remembered I own. But if you'd like to sign up for our Patreon, you will get free tickets. We'll say on the bonus what the promo code for that is. But hey, that's free tickets. That's free real estate. Why not do that? Then you get
Pays for the first 2 months of Patreon membership by itself. Basically, 2 months free Patreon membership. You sign up.
You
should
can watch us
you should
do all
probably do it
sorts of
that way.
embarrassing things on there. You know, you can watch us run Shelby's Gauntlet, the Shelby's series of gauntlets that he set up back in the day.
You can listen to our Ellen commentary track,
It's true.
Yeah.
That's
which
true.
I forgot we did until she was back in the news.
She's back in the news. Great, good to hear.
She moved to England, and then her house immediately flooded or something. I don't know. That's my thing.
She moved to the English Channel and her house flooded.
I forgot we
Ellen.
did that too. I've like totally blocked that out of my mind. That
She-
we watched
she-
the Ellen special.
She moved into the channel, and not smart.
She won't let people go to France anymore.
Yeah, she's blocking
Total
the
villain.
channel. Ellen DeGeneres is blocking the channel.
You can go, you just can't make eye contact with her on the way.
Look down. There's an announcement on the train when you go by Ellen's house in the tunnel.
If you make eye
Right.
contact, we have to stop, and then we can't go. We have to turn around. So, anyway.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Number 5. comes to
Number
us from-
5.
I did it. I got there. Number 5 comes to us from Burlington Cheesecoat Factory in the Discord, and this is a story about nature. A story that it's an interesting one. Orcas start wearing dead salmon hats again after ditching the trend for 37 years. So they're just like us. Fashion is cyclical.
They're
Things
retro.
Things that looked, dumb for the intervening number of years have become cool all of a sudden, and they're wearing dead fish. They're checking it out.
Orcas are buying dead salmon hats off Depop for hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, 30-year-old vintage dead salmon.
tattered Red Hot Chili Peppers salmons off Depop.
So I guess they don't know exactly why they do this. Surprise, because you can't ask them, or you can't ask them. You just probably
Have they tried?
Answer. You're probably not going to get an answer. And
You cannot know this because it's unknowable. That's
right. They're a perfect example of what researchers call a fad. We know what that word is. And I guess it only lasted like a year in the 80s. But I guess they think it has to do with high food availability, and there's too much food to eat like in one sitting. So people just the orcas just put them on their heads, and they
Save them for later.
That's how you
do
store
they-
them. I don't know.
How do they like swim around with it? How does it not fall off?
And
What do they
that's
do to
weird.
attach this?
I'm not totally clear on that.
yeah, they really don't go into that, and I don't understand at all how, unless it's in the blowhole. Do they have blowholes, orcas? I don't know if they're.
They do.
weird.
but
they're
they kind of need
whales.
those. They need those free, I think.
Yeah, you can't
Right?
plug that. Can't plug
Are
that
those
up.
just ceremonial? Are they just for
Yeah.
fun to like blow?
They're vestigial blowholes.
They're just.
Well, no, I mean they
you
get
know.
a junior mint in them and they die, right? As Seinfeld taught us. So
That's true.
Right, that's true. I forgot about that.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm
They
getting
got
some
the Yamuku suction cup.
I don't know what that is.
the
I'm also
amukus.
unfamiliar. Is this a Temu product? Is this,
Is this a sex thing? I don't know. It's something inappropriate. I'm trying the viral suction cup, or
The viral suction.
Yamuka.
yeah.
What? Did you say yarmulke?
I-
Is that what's going on here? Okay.
This is puzzling.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So,
Okay.
well, It's really weird to me watching like any social media with video, but it's just like trying the viral sandwich, and it's like viral is a weird word to be put next to food to me. I know that it doesn't have that meaning, but it's just so strange.
I mean, it also I don't even think it like means anything in that context. I feel like it's just that they say that to like it's astroturfing a viral thing.
That probably
is
is
like,
true.
Everyone's been talking about this sandwich, so I had to go try it. It's like, who's everyone?
Yeah.
Just define everyone for me.
Everyone is.
But I also get what you're saying. Yeah, it's got a vibe. It's like I tried the viral lettuce at Chipotle, you know?
Right.
Like it's the new E. coli lettuce that they've released.
All right, this is the viral Papa John's pizza. You got to try it. That's a real one, actually. Okay.
I don't know. Food trends are like real. Like, I don't know. Sun-dried tomatoes
sauce?
were a thing for a long time.
Yeah.
In like the 90s.
Dark times.
Dark times, the
I
sun-dried
like a
tomatoes.
sun-dried tomato, okay?
Don't dry it. It's
Get
fine.
it out of here.
It is like kind of
Leave 'em.
fucked up to have like a savory raisin. That is weird.
Yeah. That's how I feel. I mean, raisins are a controversial topic. Same thing. It's like you had a grape and you ruined it.
You had a
Why?
perfectly
Just leave 'em
good
a grape.
grape.
Perfectly good grape. You could have done
Can't
surgery
travel
on
with
it.
a grape though. Can't put a grape in gorp. You know?
You could put a grape in your pocket. You're allowed.
Gorp?
To go through TSA with yeah. Trying
I
to putting
smashed my grape.
putting my
No.
classic cornucopia through the TSA X-ray machine. An overflowing cornucopia.
Please
of
secure
fruits.
this item. It's overflowing in the TSA like gray bin.
I'm going to Thanksgiving and I'm bringing the cornucopia. That's a classic
Holding
part of the
it
Thanksgiving
loose.
feast.
Loose
Yeah.
cornucopia. Constantly
As-
having to shovel it back into the horn of plenty.
Is wicker not allowed? Yeah. Opening the overhead compartment and the cornucopia
do you have to
spilling out
hold-
into the aisles.
Do you have to hold like the narrow part? Is there a hole at the bottom of the Horn of Plenty where so you like stuff doesn't fall out the bottom? Is that part of carrying the Horn of Plenty around? It's obviously always tipped over. Obviously, you know, you never see it before it's tipped over. So it's hard
It doesn't
to say.
seem ideal to drink out of. I mean, it's the same as those horns with like Viking, you know, like when they're drinking mead out of horns. It's like, don't you ever, I guess that's the point for them is they're like, you're a real man. You never want to put your glass down. You want to drink all your mead.
nowhere to rest the horn of plenty. You gotta have you have to have one of those like at like a gentrifier restaurant where they have the fries in the cone. You need like a holder like that, you know?
Yeah, like when they put this is not the same thing, but they put the tacos in those like zigzag metal things, and it's like, we're adults. Like, they can be on the plate. It's all right.
They can be on the plate. I know they don't look as nice, but like, it's a taco. It's meant to be like, it's like the Horn of Plenty. I feel like it's not meant to be put down again. Like, you pick up a taco, you're committed. That taco is not being set back down.
Yeah, when they bring them out in a rack of little propped up triangles, I'm like, what is this, a speed run? Like, am I trying to break a Rubik's Cube record? I don't need to, like, I can pick them up. I have time. It's all right.
Speak for yourself.
All right.
Trying the viral Horn of Plenty. So yeah, I guess
Horn of Plenty challenge. Eat an entire Horn of Plenty in 30 minutes.
I just want to say, Kath, I don't think I'd ever heard the term gorp before. So you saying you can't put a grape in gorp? It was like I felt like something happened to me.
You guys don't know gorp?
That. I mean, I know now. I looked it up, but
this feels like gaslighting. But no,
what
I don't know.
What does it stand for again?
I don't. Well,
it's
rumored to be.
Okay,
it's rumored to be good old raisins and peanuts. That's an apocryphal.
Gorp is like it's like a trail mix.
It's trail mix, yeah.
But like you never heard. I feel like speaking of fads, I feel like there was one of those like fake viral things they wrote about in like the New York Times style section called Gorpcore, and it was like people dressing like they were going on a hike all the time.
I never investigated what that meant
Gorpcore,
because I just kind of
look that up.
I just kind of opted out of that whole whatever that. It's like I don't know what that is, and hopefully it passes soon, and it did, so didn't need to worry about it.
Yeah. Gorp is like it. You can only eat it out of a Ziploc bag, and it's like raisins, peanuts, M&Ms. Sometimes, for some reason, Cheerios, which are always stale if they're in Gorp.
Yeah.
Chocolate chips sometimes, but like, yeah, it's just it's
just trail
your
mix.
Energy on your hike. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's trail mix, but it's like the most basic form. It's like if you add too many things, it becomes trail mix. But like, it's shitty trail mix. It's the primary colors of trail mix.
I never knew that was what Gorpcore came from. And if you're not familiar with Gorpcore, it's all like technical fabrics. Basically, you dress like you look like you could wall run. Like you're just like dressed like someone who could maybe run on walls a little bit.
It's just like wearing an Arc'teryx jacket, isn't it? Like, isn't that what
pretty much?
Yeah, like Arc'teryx.
What a trend!
Gore-Tex, everything. Yeah,
fashion.
Hey.
We love it.
You can't put a grape in gorp, I always say. Yeah. So
I feel a little better now that you guys didn't know what that was, because I thought you can't put a grape in gorp was very funny, and it got no reaction, and I was a little sad.
Oh, it got a reaction. It was just
was
kind of like a fight or flight
puzzlement.
reaction from me. Yeah.
Shut up, Shelby. I thought it was funny.
Can take the grape out of the gorp, but you can't take the gorp out of the grape.
There we go.
Maybe.
Sure. So the orcas, these orcas here, I guess what they're doing is they like when they just keep them on when they're like above water, obviously,
that's why they swim with it like crested.
Kind of balance it. The other thing
Same way we can't really swim with hats on.
When I looked for more detail, I came across like a Smithsonian magazine thing that was like, they're probably not. It probably is not a trend. There was just one picture. So we got to present both sides here. We're like the
you
dipshit
probably
running the LA Times, and we're going to use AI to do it. AI is going to help us do it. We're going to present
both sides
of every story. That's what the news is now, according to this guy. So check that out, LA Times. South African billionaires out of the U.S. I'm saying it right now. They all got to go. Get them out. Show me one who's not a huge pain in the ass.
Anyway,
orcas. They're fine or not. Either they're doing this or they're not. It's fun. If they are doing it as a trend, it'll go away. Good luck to them. Generally, especially with the environmental deregulation, that is no doubt.
Petty, are you okay today? I feel like you're like AI, South African billionaires, environmental deregulation.
I'm cranky, I guess. I don't know.
You're having
Is anyone okay?
Time.
Motherfucker.
Cole is speech. Like
that's right. Cole is speech.
You're having a tough Saturday today. It seems like
things are good. The economy will be fine.
Just thinking about the world. That's fine.
Yeah,
you're doing great.
That's not what this podcast is about. We're not supposed to be thinking about the world.
We're terrifying. Yeah.
Anyway.
So,
do you have any?
Think about the rabbits.
The rabbits. Before
mice and men, think about the rabbits.
Before we go to the next story, do you have any brief trends that you've participated in your life that you regret?
Ooh, I had soap shoes for a minute. I think I've talked about that before.
Soap shoes?
Shoes with grime plates on them. They were big for a very brief amount of time.
Sick.
Oh, sure.
Never skateboarded, I'm assuming?
Did skateboard. Wasn't very good at it. Soap shoes, just made you eat shit on stairs mostly because they would always catch the edge of the stair and then you'd grind it and eat shit. So, yeah, it didn't last very long. They were connected to Sonic. They were heavily marketed along with Sonic the Hedgehog. He was wearing soap shoes at some point. So.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, because he could grind
doesn't
down
want to be Sonic.
Yeah. Why? That's true. I don't think I can't think of anything that would be particularly. It would have to be from when I was a little kid.
Well, of course, the rollerblades, which we've discussed.
Oh yeah, tequila worm rollerblades.
The tequila worm rollerblades.
Oh, sure. Any kind of skater stuff, I feel like is not really because that's like that just is a perennial thing for when you're in middle school. Like a certain percentage of kids are like
I wonder
skateboard
if that's still a thing.
I think it probably is.
I feel like I don't know. It might be. I don't know.
I mean, it had a good run. It was like 40 years. If it is over,
yeah,
that's still pretty good.
That's so on
I wouldn't
trend
say it's
right now.
Over, but I don't know if it's still happening to the extent that it was when we were in.
I feel like if anything, it probably came back because that feels on trend. Like a bunch of kids wearing like World Industries and Volcom and shit. Like it's like all the 90s,
early
weird,
2000s stuff. Yeah,
a lot of angular
the
text.
long sleeve shirt with the T-shirt over it. I feel like that's back in.
Get some barbed wire on going down the sleeves of that on a print. Oh yeah.
I think I have. Do I? Yeah, there it is. I got some barbed wire on my T-shirt right now.
Heather's just displayed a barbed wire print on the sleeve of her T-shirt.
It's a barbed wire movie.
Okay,
like
it's
the Pam Anderson movie.
Yeah.
Thing. So it's not skater barbed wire. It's Pam Anderson barbed wire, but still.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
As it turns out, I'm wearing a Spitfire T-shirt. No, I'm not. I did like that guy though.
I thought about getting a barbed wire tattoo, but I'm like, I don't know if this is going to stay. stay on trend. I don't know.
A barbed wire or a barbed wire tattoo?
Barbed.
No,
like one of these.
Is that on trend?
I feel like it's cool now. I feel like it's back. We were just saying it's back. That's what we were just saying.
The tattoo though, that's some peak 90s. That's that's up there with tribals.
What are we? Yeah, I don't know. We're doing we're doing permanent ink on your body because something is trendy right now. I mean, this feels like
I'm saying I don't know whether I'm being influenced by the fact that it's trendy or whether I'm still gonna like it.
You exist outside of the sort of societal.
I'm immune to propaganda.
Of course, that's
we all are,
which is very useful for just navigating the world.
Yeah.
Let's get each other names inked.
Yeah, let's do it. I'd get the little guy from our logo. I would get that tattoo.
Yeah. We'll draw names out of a hat. None of us know which name of the other host we're getting, but we'll get it.
That's a great idea. I'm in.
Right on the back of the neck, right on my dowager's hump. Get a
to signify the amount of time we've spent hunched over computers on Zoom.
Oh yeah,
get it on our dowager's humps.
Look at phone.
Look at phone. Folks, if you're having fun listening to this episode, you might also enjoy our bonus episode this week. Every single week, we put a whole extra episode up on our Patreon, patreon.com/onetimepod. You can join for $5 a month. Do it on the website so you don't have to pay extra app fees. This week, we go through our year-end Spotify and Apple Music stats and hopefully give you some good music recommendations.
We also say what has to be an insanely wrong amount of stuff about ancient civilizations in response to a mailbag question.
And you can listen to our main episodes ad-free via the Patreon. Cut out those ads and listen with no selling of anything whatsoever. What a treat.
Number 4.
Number 4
comes to us from Festive Catalan Poop Log in the Discord. Good stuff. What's the name of the name of the pooper on the Catalan nativity scenes? You know that little guy? There's traditionally in I think it's Spanish, like it's like a traditional Christmas figurine is a guy taking a shit, and it's connected to that.
Oh,
Christmas shit taking figurine. Hold on,
Kaganer. A figurine depicted in the act of defecation appearing in nativity scenes in Catalonia and neighboring areas. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's to like signify that like the manger was really awful. Born in a shitty manger that sucked. That's where he was born.
I mean,
and according to Smithsonian Magazine, you leave him out and you got a bad growing season, brother. So be careful.
Oh, you gotta.
Oh, so it's like he's
fertilizing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like that.
He's composting. Yeah, that's what I call it when I do a bad post. When I see a bad post, what is this is more like a compost, I say to them.
I was going to say it's a good euphemism for going to take a shit. I got to go do some composting.
I got to go reduce, reuse, recycle in your little gentleman's room if I could.
Oh, there's a Gollum one. Don't like that.
There's a
Don't
Gollum
like the Gollum one. Patty just sent it to us. I don't like that the like. So it's a little guy squatting, but they include the poop, which I don't like.
It has to include the poop.
I feel like
poop is coming out of the butt.
It can be implied. It can be implied. You don't need.
Well,
to
this
have
is
it there.
like
exactly. Yeah. It's very. They got to class it up. Come on.
There's a C-3PO one that makes no sense, but he's got a little.
He doesn't poop.
He's got a little. Well, Gollum doesn't take this clean of a shit. I can tell you that. Not on his diet.
It's a little bolt. So it is.
Oh, he's pooping a little bolt. That's good.
That's good.
I do like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, number 4.
Man. Imagine how many of these are minions now. Can you imagine? There's minions all over these nativity
Can a minion squat, though, is my question.
So they're kind of always squatting.
They're kind of like, they're shaped like dots, like the candy dots. I don't know if they can, they can like bend to shit.
Mm-hmm. There's a Smurf and the turd is blue. So that's, I guess they eat blue stuff as well. They're
cannibals. People don't know that about the Smurfs.
They eat the Smurfs, yes.
If you cut a Smurf, what color does it bleed? I guess what color is Smurf meat on the inside? I guess we'll
Smurf meat.
Smurfs are only blue, until they're exposed to oxygen. So Smurf meat. Very rare. That's what Gargamel wanted. He wanted that Smurf meat.
Isn't that what he wanted? Didn't he want to eat them?
I do think he did want to eat them. Yeah.
They're a delicacy. They're delicious.
He was trying to
good luck
evict
with your
them
one
from
big
their
tooth,
land.
dude. Gargamel can't chew shit. He couldn't even be in the goddamn Civil War. He couldn't open the musket balls.
He kept raising their rent.
Yeah. My landlord, Gargamel, will be raising my rent this year.
Oh, he's turning the whole village condo. It's a mess. Trying to get them out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, so his plans. Okay, that's just real quick before we start. His plans oscillate between a desire to devour the Smurfs, transform them into gold, or otherwise destroy them. So, fair
You
enough.
can turn into gold?
I feel like they must be really delicious if it's like, I can either eat this or turn it into gold, and it's a toss-up. Which one I want to do.
He's trying
They
to.
look delicious.
He thinks the Smurfs
do.
play some role in like in alchemy, and the Philosopher's Stone is involved in some
yes.
way, I guess. So
Yeah.
But what are you trying to do? Make a homunculus? Because they're already basically that.
There's a lot of lore here, and meanwhile, like nobody remembers any of this. It's just them kind of being like, "We're nice," and then he also made a lady one as part of this plan for some reason.
What do Smurfs taste like? It popped up. There are multiple Reddit. There are multiple Reddit threads asking this question. People have thought about it, which I guess makes sense because Gargamel wants to eat it. So
the Smurfs eat sarsaparilla leaves.
Sweet baby rays on the ribs and take it from there.
They would. At least it starts. Yeah, and the berries of sarsaparilla are called Smurf berries, I guess. So
Okay.
yeah.
No.
Sarsaparilla, devastating spelling bee word. That's the widowmaker of a sort of elementary school spelling bee.
Unless they say it cowboy style, I gotta say sarsaparilla, and then you get a hint. That's what you say the spelling bee. Can you say it like a cowboy would? Yeah.
I remember one time I was in a spelling bee and this girl got the word benign, and she clearly didn't know how to spell it, and she kept just going benign, 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 and they would be like benign. And finally, the woman running the spelling bee went, benign, with a B. And everyone gasped, and then they had to give her another word.
Oh, God.
Good on her.
Gave her the
Look, that's how you train.
Everyone was so mad at her because they were like, clearly this was a strategy that she had to try to win. We're just unacceptable.
I've trained for a spelling bee before in my life. Stalling's part of it. This is all gamesmanship, you got to be ready.
This was at the regional one. We had all won our school ones, and then so she was going for the gold. She did not win, from what I remember. I know.
Good.
This is a podcast
I know.
of multiple city spelling bee competitors, I believe. So, get on top of
spellers.
I never got into any kind of formal competition. I mean, we had them in school, but that's it. So.
I got out on Grecian. I'll never forget. And I knew it was wrong as soon as I said the second E. I was like, "There's no second E. I'm fucked."
I'm pretty sure controversy got me at one point because I thought there was an E before the Y at the end. I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah,
so.
You idiot.
Man.
As I've definitely mentioned on here before, Laburnum was my downfall.
Laburnum.
Yeah. After I won
Bo
one
Burnham,
of them,
his downfall.
Bo Burnham, spell a comedian from the future. But after
Tell us
I
our
won
story.
one of them with Citadel, which I knew because it had just been in Jack and Daxter. Golan Maya's Citadel, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm ready, dude.
I can't remember my winning word. I can only remember my losing one. Classic.
Well,
human nature, baby.
Psychology.
Yeah.
Anyways, this story comes from the poop figurine man. And this is a story of a stowaway on Delta flight to Paris. This is a woman who she managed to get on the plane without a boarding pass or credentials. Unfortunately, and I think we've talked about similar stories like this before, where when someone does this, they've probably done it successfully more than once, and they just finally eyes got too big for their plane seat, and so she got onto the plane.
They escalated. Their crimes were escalating.
Mm-hmm. And she the exact thing you don't want to happen happened, where she got onto the flight, and then it turned out to be a sold out flight. So there was nowhere for her to sit. So her strategy, so she just apparently she would stay in one bathroom and then just go to the other bathroom back and forth and spend a long time in each one, which is tried to keep up for a full flight to Paris. So I don't know what kind of time we're looking at from JFK to Paris. How many hours is that?
It's about
a lot.
6. It's about
that's
6.
what I thought. It's it's a lot of bathroom time. You know,
I also feel like
Maybe
it's
you-
rare that you have a flight that long. It doesn't have some kind of like, everyone get in your seats. Like we're having a little bit of bumpy ride here.
Oh,
like
I'm sure she
Oh,
was
yeah.
breaking the rules.
But like
Yeah.
if she wasn't already in the bathroom, like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
but you can, as someone with IBS, you can, if you really need to. Sometimes they've been like, we're taking off, and I've been like, I'm gonna need to get in there. Like you're gonna have
yeah, they're not
going to
make you like waddle back to your seat.
I'm gonna blast this place.
I'm gonna blast. You got to let me in there.
Bathroom
Robinson character.
bathroom wise, not
Yeah.
not bomb wise.
Not bomb wise.
Uh-huh.
The terrorism I'm committing is purely biological. It's not political.
Yeah. So they got on. She got on there. Unfortunately, no, they figured it out. I don't know if somebody snitched on her. It was just like, mind your business, whatever. I mean,
I feel like they must not have, because
Don't agree
who's
with
gonna
that, but yeah.
who's gonna call the stewardess and be like, sorry, flight attendant, and be like, excuse me, that woman's going to the bathroom a lot. Because what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong and then you're just weird for noticing?
What if you're right? Even if you're right, be like, that one's going to the bathroom a lot, and come back and be like, yeah, she is.
Well, yeah.
she's having an issue. She's having a bad day.
You making a list, Santa Claus? What the hell's going on here?
Yeah.
You care.
Yeah, a naughty bathroom list.
There's not a normal way to catch this person, but I'm
Yeah.
fine with this person being in trouble. You can't do this. Don't do this. I don't want to have to think about someone doing this. Thank you.
Why?
Yeah.
Someone
Doesn't
stowing
bother
away
me.
on a flight? I don't know. Maybe if someone could stow away that doesn't just want to spend time in the bathroom, there's lots of bad things
I
they
guess
could
that's
do.
true. I guess you're right about that. I don't want to have to think about that.
Well, they still have to get through TSA. I mean,
That's
they get
my
through without a
question
boarding
is-
pass. They don't get through without being scanned. Having their body image 3D scanned and stored, probably.
I guess
in
I was
a
going to
meta
say, like,
server somewhere.
that seems harder to me than getting on the plane without a boarding pass. But I guess they'll just let you go through TSA for fun if you want. Like, I know you have to show your boarding pass, but like, I don't think they care that much. You're still going
And they don't
through.
usually. They sometimes scan it, but I feel like a lot of times you just
just
sort of have
show
to
it.
flash a piece, especially
Yeah.
if you just like act like a boomer who has like a paper ticket. They're like, okay, hi, yeah, great.
Well, yeah,
That's how
'cause
you do it.
It's not like you're going through a security screening. So it's not like there's any real incentive to be like, hold on, you shouldn't be going through the security screening. Because like, A,
Yeah.
who would do it for fun? And B, the whole point of it is that you can't do anything nefarious because they're scanning you, right?
Look,
You're just like,
where
I
else
really
am
want to get into that Dunkin' Donuts back there.
Yeah, where
Let
else
me
am I going to
through.
buy a swatch? You got to let me in there. I want a swatch.
I
so
need
bad.
a Longchamp bag, please.
Yeah, I gotta buy cologne.
Gotta
This
get
is
to
where I
that
get
duty
it.
free.
I got to buy a
Yeah.
suitcase in here. I need to get as many things.
I've bought
Dude,
so
it's
many
someone-
colognes. I need to also buy a suitcase
True
inside
need for
the
like
airport.
a investigative reporting. What is going on at the Samsonite store in the airport? You got to start talking to those people.
We're paying
What
rent
happened?
for right. We're paying rent for people that had some kind of calamity befall them on the off chance, or they have too much shit all of a sudden for some reason. Yeah, how many of those?
Yeah.
What's the percentage of traveler that is in that situation?
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, and also like even if you have too much shit, I feel like that's like a Horn of Plenty situation. Is like, are you just putting your loose stuff on the conveyor belt and then just being like, I'm going to Samsonite when I get through. I'm going to Samsonite. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, you could be. I mean, I'm not
I'm bringing
trying to-
these
and it's-
cantaloupes home.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, you see those people probably more on the train or whatever. And I'm not trying to fucking like shame people for not having money for luggage or whatever. But the like trash bag people who bring in just like a trash bag full of their stuff.
I guess that's who the Samsonite thing
Yeah.
is for, is trash bags.
I'm not
big
gonna class.
It's for the stuff you steal from Hudson News.
yeah.
yeah.
it's for my-
You go through
it's
the
for-
self checkout.
It's for the presidential shaped chocolates from Union Station, which I almost bought as a gag gift for a recording we had once after I was home, and then they were like $80. And I was like, all right.
Damn.
Takes a lot of work to make a chocolate look like Teddy Roosevelt, I guess. So
Yeah, that is
we're-
like a weird. That is definitely a sincere gift price, which is strange
Yeah.
for something like that.
I just
Yeah.
I just thought of a type of guy who lands like is in his home area and then buys luggage on the way, like before going through before leaving. Like that's
It's cheaper
like,
here. How could it
Yeah.
be cheaper there? It's the most.
I want to pay more.
Necessary place to have it.
It's also a huge hassle to return or deal with any kind of issue.
Yeah, you have to go back through. That's how you get through the TSA without a boarding pass. Is you say you got to go to the Samsonite, return your luggage.
I gotta go. The zipper broke on my suitcase, and they told me I have to go back to the store I bought it at. So that's where I'm going.
What a nightmare!
I know.
Top Bit Samsonite store in the airport selling luggage that does not meet TSA guidelines. So you buy it in the airport, and then they're like, "You can't bring that on the plane; it's too big." It actually doesn't. It's not allowed. There's but yeah, this is gonna be like I said, no class criticism here. If you're gonna pack your stuff in a trash bag, just go for the Force Flex. I think is the one real.
Yeah, you gotta really ensure that you got some tensile strength in that trash bag. I'm a big proponent of the trash bag packing for moving. I feel like that is much for clothes and stuff. That's like so much easier and better than boxes. Just go trash bag.
Yeah. Toss them in there. Then you can kind of hurl it. You can throw out your shoulder. It's fun.
Yeah, you can just heave them around. It's great.
Yeah. Well, last tangent, I did on the Amtrak ride down for Thanksgiving. There was like a old person in front of me who the conductor came through, and they were like, "Hey, do you have your ticket?" And they were like, "Oh my God, they had a paper ticket and they lost it," and they were acting like it's 1990 and that matters. They were like, "I'm so sorry, I can't find it. Like, please." And they're like,
"Get up, sir. We are pushing you off the train right between stops."
Boot between the shoulder blades off the train.
Yeah. They were like really getting to this. They were like, "What do I do?" And they were like, "What's your name?" And they told them their name. They're like, "Okay, I see you. Like, you're on the list, so it's okay." But they were like,
Aww.
They thought they were going to get like tossed, with a bindle out in the middle along the northeast corridor.
Sir, I'm going to fucking kill you.
I'm going to beat the shit out of you. But this stowaway lady, she, this is the risk she took. She got caught. I was also, that's what me and Kath, I think, were saying is like, some of the stories I've read about this have been the whole like angle of the story had been like, how could she possibly have gotten on a plane? And I'm like, you are putting more, probably good, like safe feeling to assume that it's that hard to get onto a plane without a ticket, but I don't think it's as hard as we'd like to think it is.
I feel like you just gotta sort of duck while you go through the little gate part. Like, you'll be fine.
Just kind of act as if.
Yeah. I looked so hungover one time that they basically let me skip security. And so you could do that. You could just look like you're going to throw up, and then sometimes they'll let you through really quick.
Damn.
Yeah. After a wedding in Miami, and they were like, "Sir, why don't you come on?" They were like, "You look like you want to sit in a wheelchair, so we can let you go first."
Remind me, by the way, on the bonus to tell my Thanksgiving travel story, because it's very funny. Spoiler alert on the bonus.
Spoiler
Tune in,
alert,
Patreon.
it's very funny.
It's very
Kath
funny.
was forced to share a hotel room with John Candy.
It was wild. It's wild stuff. That'd be a dream Thanksgiving. I would love that. Just
I
hang out
don't think
with John
so.
Candy.
He gets into a lot of problems.
He does have a lot of problems.
Yeah, I don't think I would want to travel with him.
That's a fun movie. We watched like the first maybe 45 minutes before bed the other night, and it was like there's a part where that's like, you only have one room. Whoa! It was very, you know what I mean? Like, we're not, it's okay.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Well, that is how a lot of fan fiction starts. So I get why they were freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's fan fiction of that movie about them.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, there's only one room. What are we gonna do? Probably have sex with each other.
Definitely fan fiction, if anything. Yeah. But I would say if John Candy got on my train, I would probably try to switch trains. I feel like there's something's going to go down.
Calamity will strike. Somewhere.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so this woman,
I hate it.
And this is also mentions the one we
strikes.
got. The hate to see calamity strike. The one we covered, where was a different guy who used just took a photo of a kid's boarding pass and used it to get on. I think this lady probably just looked panicked enough to get on. And it's apparently kind of a hobby. I wouldn't say a travel hack, but they have some links to people who are like, I do this. And you can, if you're willing to risk it, I guess you can. Yeah.
The stowaway guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new point. It's a new points.
The new points guy, yeah.
Points style. Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag stowaway life. Forget van life. Living in an Amtrak sleeper car.
Should we do number 3?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3 comes to us from Big Ten Bagman in the Discord. This is, I'm glad I got to do this one because it is from the world of fraud. I've actually thought about doing a story sort of related to this about lie, cheat, and steal, but it hasn't really coalesced into enough for an episode. But this is an interesting downstream effect of this problem. So apparently there is such a thing as the World Beekeeping Awards, which I guess is just like an international like county fair, like it's the biggest stakes. You win with your honey in, Powesheik County, Iowa, and then you make your way up the ranks until you get to the International Beekeeping Awards. So they actually had to change their slate of awards this year. I want to know what the other awards are, and I'm not really finding it. So if someone wants to try to Google while I tell you about this
story. Best honey?
Yeah, because the one they're talking about is best honey, which, like, to me, that's like the one, right?
Most
like,
bees, biggest bee, least bees,
least
while still
stings.
producing honey.
Least stings. Highest yield. I don't know.
Kindest
kind
bee.
of a rhythmic gymnastics with those smokers they use.
And
kindest bee.
They award it to the bee, not to the beekeeper.
That's
and
right.
And then it crushes the bee.
Miss Congeniality Award for the bee.
Miss Congeniality bee.
They actually pushed the beekeeper out of the way to give the award.
Yep, in front
Get
of
out of here. This had nothing to do with you.
You didn't do this.
So the award was for I guess most delicious honey, best honey. But there's a huge problem where they can't they don't want to give it because there is tons of fraudulent honey out there. And apparently it's like difficult to test for just because like honey is sugar, right? It's basically just sugar syrup. So like it's just difficult to figure out if it's been adulterated. And in March 2023, the European Commission found that 46% of sampled products, including all 10 samples from the UK, this is a story from the BBC, were suspected to be fraudulent, meaning they had likely been bulked out with cheaper sugar syrups. So they're like developing ways to detect fake honey right now, but they haven't like perfected it yet. And so they don't want to give out the honey award because they're like, we can't, ensure that people are being, truthful about it.
Yeah. I'm going to say like, if that's what this is, where basically you just send in honey or bring in honey, I'm just like, I feel like that's not what I imagine or what the World Beekeeping Awards should be. That's just like something else. Like I want it to be like a state fair, county fair sort of. Right. I understand you can't really do that with bees. Like you probably can't bring them because, even if you could feasibly bring them, it would like upset the bees. But like
that's in my not head, going through TSA. That's going to be
in my
a
head. World Beekeeping Awards is you show up and they have neutral bees that you have to bond with. There's just multiple hives that you don't know, and you get assigned some neutral bees that you've never met, and then you have to get them to produce honey. That would be better.
Yeah,
that would be better to me.
They have to herd sheep. It's like Babe.
Yeah. Don't they have sheepdog awards? It should be like that. It should be.
That's what Babe is. Yeah. So yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Have you not seen Babe?
I mean, I saw it when I was the age I think most people see Babe.
Babe is awesome.
I'm stumping for Babe right now.
It's so good.
You got to rewatch Babe. It whips ass.
What about Pig in the City? Is that good, worse, better?
I have not seen that one since I was very little.
That's the Mad Max guys
correct.
One, right? Yeah.
But man, Babe it's wonderful.
It's great.
It's really good.
I always get choked up at the end. It's so good.
He does a good job. I get choked up when he starts singing to him when he doesn't want to eat because he's sad, and then the farmer's singing to him. He does a little song. It's so nice.
Good. It's so nice.
I'm not trying to dismiss it offhand. It's children's media, but I haven't seen it in a while.
It's pretty like
it's dark.
Death and the puppies leave and the mom is sad because the puppies get given away or sold, and it's a whole thing. Anyway, what's
bees.
going on with these bees?
I don't know if I agree with you, Eli, but I do think World Beekeeping Awards is a little misleading because based on this criteria, it does sound like they're just evaluating honey brands rather than like beekeepers. Like, I don't know if you can just be like, here's my honey, because why would you adulterate that with sugar syrup? It's like the sample for the beekeeping commission or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Call it like World Honey Championships.
Switch the samples
or something. But,
exactly.
Yeah.
The World Beekeeping Awards fugitive. Very
Richard
good.
Kimball walking in.
And is it like, I feel like honey is almost, well, no, it's not. I'm just going to take back that riff and not do it. But I was going to say, it's like,
you gotta get Winnie the Pooh in
vodka
there.
where they're like, it's the purest, the best honey tastes like nothing at all, which is not true. But in my head, it would be funny, you know?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out more about this, like, awards, like how this works. But yeah, apparently,
is there a beard of bees? Is that involved in this, or is that a separate
There
contest?
should be.
that's the
They
novelty.
probably don't want this. Yeah, they probably don't want this associated with them. They're like,
They give an award every year to Tony Todd for negotiating, getting a bonus every time he got stung by a bee while filming Candyman. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Genius.
Candyman,
R.I.P.
a bit of a beekeeper himself.
Yeah,
Yeah, he is.
absolutely. Okay,
inside
so
himself.
here are some of the categories for the World Beekeeping Awards. First of all, mead. So they have like a couple mead options. You can do sweet, dry, spiced mead, or mellow, which is mead produced from fruit other than grape or apple, which are the traditional. We got beeswax, which has candle, plain beeswax, a decorated candle, or a beeswax model.
There's a freaking award for minding your own.
That's the honorary. Displays, which I'm very curious what that could possibly be. I like this. Photographs with a beekeeping theme. That's cute.
Okay.
Yeah, best picture of a bee.
Check out these damn bees.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. Innovation/inventions. Innovation.
Invented a new bee.
The prototype must be presented. Innovation is defined as, quote, to produce a new process or way of doing things. Invention, a working prototype must be presented. Invention is defined as a unique or novel device. So that's cool because it doesn't have to work. It doesn't have to do much. It just has to be a unique or novel device.
Here's my bee milker 2.0.
Yeah, those are like the main ones. But yeah, I'm just sort of surprised because it's like, why would you submit adulterated honey? Like, it doesn't seem like sugar syrup would make the honey be better, you know?
Yeah, well, I would just assume you could just buy honey from somebody who makes better honey than you and send it in. Like,
Check this shit
like,
out.
damn.
Then you're just in it for the clout. Too many beekeepers in it for the clout, you know?
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, they test all the honey and they're like, hey, everybody, it's come to our attention that everyone just mixed all their honey together and sent it to us. It's not allowed.
This is like a really big problem with olive oil too. That like a lot of olive
yeah.
oil is adulterated and not really what it purports to be. Mm-hmm. Big problems.
Everything's a lie.
Everything's a lie.
Olive Keeper Awards. You got to check it out. Smoking my box
I don't know
of
if that's
olives
what they're
to calm
called,
them down.
but I
Olive
like
Keepers.
Olive Keeper.
They have a big competition. It's like the from the flashback parts of the movie Mafia, which I probably have been the only one in here who has seen.
That's
which is a
correct.
Godfather or Mafia, like a mob movie pastiche parody, for like an airplane
Does
style.
someone like jump into an empty pool in that movie?
Maybe.
I feel like that's like
Worst kind of pool to jump into.
I remember this from like a trailer or something. I'm sure there's a big horse head gag. I'm guessing.
I'm sure there is. It's it's got like Lloyd Bridges is like the he's the Don and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, the thing I remember is the dad of the character or whatever when he's young is squeezing olives into a jar. That's how he makes olive oil. Like with his
Nice.
that's his
a good
job.
bit.
He squeezes an olive and oil comes out, and that's like he does like half an inch in a day. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That's like a day's work.
Olive milking.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like the olive keepers, if that was what it was, they would have to wear robes or something. They would have they would look like mages.
Mm-hmm. This is exactly what they look like in my head. And the robes, what color are they? Olive green, of course.
Olive green,
obviously.
of course.
That's right.
Yeah.
Do you know like regular uncured olives are like absolutely inedible? Cue the joke about how even regular olives are inedible, but a raw olive, disgusting, vile.
Yeah. It's just like a nut, just like a poisonous nut sort of
I think
deal.
it's like weirdly hard, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway.
We'll leave that untouched as well. I was just say the last bee thing is, did you guys ever follow the like hot beekeeper drama? Was it on TikTok or Instagram Reels or something?
Was it like that lady?
Yeah, the very hot hobbyist beekeeper lady who all of her videos were just beekeepers in the comments being like, hey, don't do this. She should be getting stung a lot. I don't know really why she's not getting stung a lot, but if you do that, you're going to get stung a lot. Yeah, that was a good time.
The bees respected how hot she was, and they left her alone. They're like, we don't want to make you swell up and look weird, so we're gonna not sting you. Preserve your beauty.
Yeah. Man, sad but great photos of the like dogs that tried to eat a bee. You feel bad for them, but they do look so funny. Number two?
Number two.
Devlin McGregor could give you Provasic.
Number 2.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems my friend, Dr. Richard Kimball. Okay, number 2 comes to us from Average Gatsby in the Discord, and this is a story about thieves. Thieves. They're out there.
The takers.
They robbed the Black Swan pub in Oldstead, as well as other food businesses in Northern England. Or no, I'm sorry. This is the chef who owns the Black Swan pub, but this chef is Tommy Banks. He's a Michelin-starred chef, and he owns all those places I just said. And they were delivering some goods to a Christmas market, and their van was stolen. And the van was full of 2,500 pies worth about $32,000. And I'm not clear what kind of pies they are. I'm looking really quick here. Maybe it's a variety of pies. Does not say.
You go to the Black Swan pub, and all the mirrors are broken in there, so that you can see your fragmented personality.
Yes, exactly.
That's their gimmick.
Man, the ladies in that movie not eating a whole lot of pies.
That's true.
Pies off the menu for Black
Eating
Swan.
a lot of cigarette mostly. I think.
You go to the Black Swan pub, and they're doing the financial crisis from 2008. That's what they're doing in there. I don't know if they're like eel pies or some kind of kidney pie.
Stargazy pie with the fish heads poking out. Classic.
Those must be hard to pack. They would take a lot of space because you got to like leave a lot of headroom, for the stargazing.
Literal, yeah. They gotta be like elevated, like on a rack of some sort. Mm-hmm. The classic British Bake Off, when it's like they're like, today's pie day, and you're like, oh, pies, and then everyone's like, I'll be doing liver pie, and you're like, oh right, you guys do this weird.
Yeah, oh boy, man, Bake Off this season, questionable.
I like those pies.
Questionable
I like
results.
the meat pies. I've heard there's controversy. I've not seen it yet. I haven't watched any, but yeah, I've heard.
Last couple episodes, controversial, some controversial decision making, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But hey,
I gotta say, I did the math for this, and it comes out to a little under $13 per pie, as far as 2,500 pies for $32,000. Not a bad deal for a Michelin star pie.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how big the pies are or what they are. Yeah, somebody's going nuts.
Shelby's communicating with Liza.
She's upset about the pies. So I guess the thieves stole the van. That's the thinking. The thinking was not they weren't like going to do a pie heist.
They wanted the van. The pies were just a bonus.
And they got all these damn pies. And the chef is like, why don't you, do the right thing here? Like drop them off at a food bank. Like it's a waste. It's so much food. Like, help some people with the pies. How
much is that van worth? Because the pies sound like they might be worth more than the van.
It seems that way. Point. Yeah. It's kind of a strange thing when he says here, you can't do anything with these pies because they've got my name written all over them. Like you can't fence the pies.
You can really dispose of the evidence quickly in this case. I feel like you're going to be okay. These are not works of art.
Does he mean literally like he's like there's crust signatures on them? Like,
I don't know. I assume it's the boxes. I doubt his name is written all over the physical pie. Hey, wait a minute. They all have serial numbers on the pies.
Right. Yeah. The other thing about
you put them
pies,
on eBay and you're like, no packaging, out of packaging, cheaper.
Yeah.
Due to no packaging.
They don't say how many. because they want to keep it random. But if you open one of these pies without the prop, then you get a blue dye all over you. It shoots up and it blasts you. So
blueberry dye pie.
Smurf meat. It's full of Smurf meat. And it gets all over you.
Smurf pie. I think the other thing is like, if you're stealing a lot of pies, unfortunately, like, hot pies, like in the other sense, you can't really like sit on those to fence them once things cool down. Again, no pun intended. Like you gotta either go down to the creek and eat them with your boys, who you stole the pie with the rest of the rascals, or you gotta, very quickly their value drops. They become day-old pies and 2-day-old pies.
Extremely depreciating asset. Rapidly depreciating. I will say, if they do get caught and I was their lawyer, I would go with the defense of, Your Honor, the smell clearly hooked their nostrils and brought them to the van. They were not in control of this.
It was entrapment in a very weird way. They were, carried over there.
This van that we stole smells delicious.
Yeah. What else are they going to do?
They were transporting the pies in a Brinks truck, so it was just kind of, people assumed that would they took out their armored truck, and then unfortunately they were like, oh, well, this juice was not worth the squeeze here, taking on the armed guards of the armored truck.
I hope they do get, at least I hope someone enjoys them. I hope they do drop them at a food bank or something. I like that this guy is making a plea to his, the people who have robbed him. I'm sure the van was insured. I'm sure the pies were not. I don't think you can do that.
Hang on. We have an update here. The van was found. The van has been found. I'm looking at the BBC here.
Sans pie? Did they take the pie? I would take at least one pie if I were them.
Yeah, you got to have one.
Let's see.
One of each flavor.
The van was found abandoned with false number plates. It was a refrigerated van, and the pies themselves, as the BBC puts it, have perished.
No!
They've
passed away.
You got to see if they ate them or if they went bad.
They've gone.
I hope they ate them
to the great beyond. I think they've gone bad. I think that's what perished means.
Almost all the pie was gone. There was one piece because all the burglars were like, "No, you have it," and then they left that one piece
I insist.
left. Yeah, cut it in half.
Each pie was double tapped. They've all perished.
Yeah,
it's a lot of bullets.
Execution
5,000 bullets.
Just
the pies were
ripping them up.
Pies were made to kneel and then taken out from behind.
That's right. Wow, what a waste!
Yeah.
The pies were found.
That last bullet hit the Taco Bell, ricocheted.
They were found abandoned in Cleveland, which I guess is somewhere in Yorkshire.
They brought them to Ohio. They got them all the way there.
The mistake by the lake, or by the lake. I don't know.
By the lake.
I don't know why I said Malake. Okay, that's
Malake.
It. So sad ending for the
Loch Ness monster wearing a fedora.
Sad ending for the pies, and hopefully the people who stole it are brought to sort of some kind of pie-based justice. They'll be baked into a pie.
They got to do the I Love Lucy chocolate thing, but with pies. They got to work on the conveyor belt.
One of the thieves, they have to choose themselves, will be baked into a pie.
They're going to, or obviously they're going to slam a pie in their face. They're going to put them in one of the...
Of course.
They're
going to
the chef's going to be able to watch through glass, and then they get pied.
They're going to do the Nickelodeon game show thing and lower them into a pie and then throw pies.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, they're going to be in the pie pod from what we did.
The pie pod? Yeah. That's what I was thinking of, the pie pod. They should bring that back. But there's no... As a penal...
It should just be on whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like Jimmy Fallon would enjoy the pie pod. I feel like it could have a place in our television landscape again. Bring it back.
Yeah. Not enough people kind of rooting through slop for flags on TV anymore. That's what I want.
You gotta get up in a big nose.
I would have to turn it off at the nose. I was like, this is disgusting.
Kath does not like that type of humor. It's true.
I do not like that type of humor. I could deal with the rest of it, but the nose just really bummed me out. It really upset me. Yeah. It was green, bright green. That nose is sick. That nose has a bacterial infection.
Uh-huh. Why? Yeah, looking up on WebMD, what does green mucus mean in the Double Dare nose? Yeah, for me it was being a child in Legends of the Hidden Temple, the guy who jumps out who's painted the wall or whatever.
Oh, that was
Every
scary.
time it scared me. Every time I'd clutch my chest as a child. Oh my
word.
Yeah, my God. Olmec, how could you? Why?
Why would you
just
do
to
this
protect
to us,
your
Olmec?
hidden temple?
Really fucked up that's like most Americans our age association with the word Olmec, which is like an entire civilization. Like, it's like, oh, that big talking head from the kid show.
Yeah, crazy shitty that they use like a real culture. I guess that was just what they did back then, where they were.
The thing, like Olmecs are known for making big heads. Like that is their main artifact that we have of them is that they made big giant heads, but they didn't look like the Olmec head. Like they fucked it up on so many levels.
Yeah, it's strange, just be like someone just like using a big Jesus as a prop in well, not quite.
Jesus hosts our child game show.
Gotta grab the
He's
flags.
on the cross.
On the cross.
An animatronic for your next challenge as he's on the cross.
He's
Good
at the
stuff.
top of a big hill and you have to pull out the spear and then you win. It's
He's
Christian
at the top
Ninja
of
Warrior.
the aggro crag. That's actually the cavalry.
Yeah, right. There's one the skull place.
Golgotha. Yeah.
Jesus carrying the cross up the aggro crag. Yeah.
I feel
Where
like
there are
there
two
is-
steps of footprints in the aggro crag.
Let's go
I
to
feel
Mo.
like
Mo.
a Christian like network could really make hay with this. I feel like it would go over well. I feel like people would like it.
American Gladiators, but just Christian.
Yeah. Just have
And
to
then
do
it
a
would
lot
go
of
better
like
for those
feats.
gladiators.
You got to change some water into wine. You got to change some, get some loaves and fishes. Or it's like a double dare where you have to like throw loaves and fishes at each other and catch them.
They're gonna
And,
keep
like,
that
fill a
thing where you
bucket.
just had to like do like the bike upside down on the ceiling. They're gonna keep that one, even though it's not Christian per se.
They won't. They won't give that one.
They already had the track, so like they're not gonna.
Right.
They don't even want to think about another way to use it.
There's like a big foam leper, and you have to like collect the most lesions and hand them in for points.
You got to patch them up. You got to patch up the lesions.
them up, cover up the lesions, which is how you cure leprosy. You just cover them
You
up.
just spackle it over, And then the really difficult challenge at the end is you have to bring Lazarus back from the dead. No one's ever won. They
The
just
pit of
haul out a
Lazarus.
corpse.
It's slop with flags. The pit of Lazarus. Get in there, pull them out.
There was the pit. Like how now we're turning Ra's al Ghul's like ability, and now that's becoming part of the
not in a
biblical
pit.
lore. He's just a
Is
dead
that not?
guy.
Is he not in a pit in the real
He's
one?
not in a
I only
pit.
know Lazarus through Ra's al Ghul, so that's my connection to Lazarus.
Ra's al
No
Ghul is
pit.
biblically accurate. The Lazarus pit. Jesus put him in this pit, and it made him alive again. That's why it's called
The
the
12th
Lazarus
apostle,
He
Ra's al
dipped him in the
Ghul.
potion in the pit. And,
Yeah.
One of you will betray me. I have a hunch it will be Ra's al Ghul. The leader
He's been
of the what's it
excised from
called?
the scriptures, but they found like in a cave in the Dead Sea, they found the scriptures that have Ra's al Ghul in them. Oh, this is from an earlier
never should have
draft.
Jesus never should have befriended the League of Shadows. Never should have let them into the.
Not a good sounding name.
He was so merciful. He just let the League of Shadows cook, He wasn't going to be suspicious.
Yeah, like isn't that the thing? Isn't that joke? Ra's al Ghul at the dinner party, and be like, "Where do you work? The League of Shadows." Oh, okay.
This has been said before, but Batman Begins. There's that scene at the party when he like makes his big return, and there's this like dowager lady who's like, "You simply must meet this man, Bruce. Your name is Ra's al Ghul?" and then he goes, "You're not Ra's al Ghul. I watched him die." And the lady just kind of walks away, and it's like, what is the rest of her night like? You know what I mean? I know like there's a big thing later, but it's like, okay. It's like,
I guess they know each other.
Yeah.
Can an idea truly
classic.
die, Mr. Wayne? And then it's just like, okay. The lady's like, all right, that kind of weird, but had some good stories, I guess.
Yeah. It's the classic, not to go too far, but there's a good Blue Sky post about that of like Bruce Wayne showing up in a village. I'm building an alliance. I need to meet Aquaman. But also, if you see Aquaman working with Batman, that's different. Batman is also building an alliance. This isn't connected to that. But, phrased more funnily and better.
Number one.
And this week's number one reason to say what a time to be alive.
Number one this week, this is sent in by The Revenge of Bussy Bambois. I don't know. Bambois? That's close enough.
If it's French, when in doubt, just throw a bois at the end.
Bois.
Do a Hank Hill. Do a Hank Hill.
It's a French vampire. Bois.
Just throw in a Wario at the end.
So this is, I mean, I don't know if it doesn't need to go that deep, but it's just, oh man, this is a classic. You don't want this to happen to you. We were talking about, me and Kath were talking about how this is just extremely Homer Simpson coded. And now looking at it, it took place in Springfield, Tennessee.
Wow.
So I'm like, is this Homer Simpson?
Come on.
Here's just the title, and this tells you the series of events. Power outage caused by former Tennessee mayor crashing while reaching for sausage biscuit, which is not your finest moment. So
just gonna reach over here. Did it like
Why
fall?
do you have to reach? Why did he put this so far away?
It actually
in the
fell.
passenger seat.
It fell and it rolled under the. It rolled under the brake, and it stopped the brake from
Final
going
Destination
down.
style.
Yep.
Sausage biscuit under the brake.
Why can't you just squish it? It's a sausage biscuit. Nope, very hard.
Some of those are tough.
Oh shit!
Those
Didn't want to
McDonald's
fuck
sausage
up the
biscuits?
sausage biscuit, so he's like tapping the brake even though he's going full speed. 'Cause he doesn't want
That's
to crush
right.
it.
That's correct.
Yeah. If it's a McGriddle, you know, those things they're springy. So yeah, this is a former Springfield mayor, Billy Paul Cornell, not Homer Simpson, unfortunately.
Could be an alias. We don't know.
Yeah. So there's the first like
This,
report.
this guy's going to be the next Secretary of Transportation after this.
Yeah.
Just
Of course.
FYI.
Downtown area of Springfield is currently experiencing a power outage due to an accident on 7th Avenue is the first reporting. There's a picture here of like an awning on fire. So he crashed into a utility pole, causing an outage. Live wires were exposed, fell over the awning of a nearby funeral home, causing it to catch fire.
Oh my god.
Like, and so he's waiting there.
Worse than ever.
He's got to talk to the cops when they show up. And,
If this is a small enough town, he like decimated the local economy with one automobile accident.
Hopefully their economy is not funeral home based. There's not.
I just
really,
feel like I've been to towns where there's like 3 things in the town and one of them is a funeral home. And it's like, well,
people be dying.
People be dying everywhere.
Honestly, like in my old neighborhood, there were a ton of funeral homes per block. It was like around like the Graham part. It was like pork store, funeral home, pork store, funeral home.
Yeah,
I
feel like that is like a lot of the old like in Williamsburg, like because it used to be Italian. I feel like the only businesses that are still from that era are funeral homes. There's like one restaurant, a couple bakeries, the pork store, and then a million funeral homes.
Yeah, it used to be mobbed up, so there were like butcher shops where they'd meet in the back, and then funeral homes when they'd have a war. That's the 2 things that they needed.
They gave him a damn punch card for bringing in those bodies.
Yeah, it's a good business.
This one's free.
Take the body to the butcher store. Someone should look into it. But yeah, Billy Paul Cornell. So he crashed into the pole, knocked over the live wires, set the funeral home on fire, and then to interview him about what happened. And he said,
good for him for owning up to it.
Yeah. He said, I don't know. I didn't mean to throw an accent on there, but he said he leaned over to pick up a sausage biscuit, and before he knew it, the pole was in front of him.
Oh, brother.
Oh, you really, real brother hours.
You really
real
are.
Brothers.
You are picturing the in the foot area of the passenger seat. Like it fell, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And he's like all the way down. And then he comes back up above. Oh, like it really is like.
You know that he's doing the thing where he's like already leaning over and can't see anything, but he's just rotating his head back and forth.
Right,
he's like
trying to look
peeking up at the sky almost over the windshield.
Body fully 90 degrees at the waist.
Yeah,
that's right.
Complete right angle.
Hands nowhere near 10 and 2 on the wheel. Just
one hand
over.
on top of the wheel, one hand reaching for dear life for the sausage biscuit. Yeah, just sort of looking at the sky above him. Can't see anything.
Yeah. Real. Well, I'll gotta have one fry while they're still hot on the way home, and then suddenly your car is sticking out of a funeral home.
His first problem was taking both hands off the wheel to do the fat fingers, the little.
You know he was doing a little finger, before he reaches for the sausage biscuit.
He's so excited to get his sausage biscuit.
This man said, biscuit. "Don't mind if I do," out loud to himself in an empty car.
Who am I?
After all, why shouldn't I enjoy a sausage biscuit while driving by the funeral home?
Fuck, I would. Sausage biscuits are so good.
Sausage biscuits are real good.
If I were about to enjoy a hot, delicious sausage biscuit, and then it fell into the passenger seat foot area of my car, I would think about going for it. I wouldn't, but I would think about it, and it would like ruin my day. Like I would be so upset.
You already prepped.
I would probably pull over. I think I would.
Your mouth's like dried itself out in preparation for the sausage biscuit.
You go back you have to go back to the place and get a new one. You know.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I'm eating that thing off the floor.
Even if it like,
I dropped it.
What about like if it's out of the wrapper, it's open, and like every part is flat, like flush with the mat. Like the sausage is flush with the mat. Each biscuit is flush with the mat.
Yeah. That mat is like the dirtiest thing a person
Correct.
owns.
Like maximum surface area. It might as well be like rolled up in like the wall next to your toilet. Like that's like where it is.
I would sooner eat a sausage biscuit that fell on the floor in a bathroom than the foot area of the front seat of a car. Just disgusting down there. Terrible.
Storing my floor mats in the upper tank of my toilet and then putting them back in my... And then the biscuit's got like the puncture marks from the little grippy. It's wrecked. It's gone. You got a Cheerio in there.
Total Cheerio. It's like no child has ever been in this car. How is there a Cheerio in there?
All right, what about this scenario?
Pine needles? Always pine needles?
Pine needles for sure.
There's a push pop with like opened, you know?
Yep.
Jolly Ranchers down there.
What
about if the sandwich didn't fall into the foot area? What if it fell in between the seat? So he's like jamming his hand in there, trying to get in there and get it.
That's
like,
gone.
He's like cutting himself. Like, God damn it!
Just the sausage. The sausage slipped out from between the biscuits and went straight in between the seat and the center console. Sausage
bringing the car to the mechanic to have them take that thing apart so you can
motherfucker.
Sausage patty slipped between the vents on my dashboard. It's in there. You gotta get it out.
Riding in the passenger seat on like a road trip, and your phone slips off your lap into that area, and it's like if I can't get my phone, I am jumping out of the car at full speed.
Yeah, like you think you gotta that seems like an engineering thing they should fix. Like, hey, why don't you plug this up? Why is there a void here? Why does it need
to be there? Plug it up.
Yeah, nobody's asking for an abyss near the front seat. This is not. And they sell products. I saw one that's like literally no more than just like a foam block. Yep. It's just like, hey, you can put this in there, and then your phone won't go down there anymore.
Your phone wants to be down there. Is the
phone
problem.
Loves being down there. That's like a very appealing area the most appealing area in the car for objects is
it's its den.
It's
where it lives.
And not fully kicking under this, like, so it's still not like fully under the seat. Like it doesn't kick over. It's in that in between area. Very cool.
That hole was made for your phone. That's where the phone belongs. It's the Amigara fault. The phone wants to go in there so bad. You know. I love that. I will say that was like a top-notch hobby when you were a kid on a road trip, kind of just packing away stuff in holes.
A lot of like little pockets in like a car door you can stash things in. A couple Lego mans in there, you know?
Yeah, I'm having Cheerios. Why not give the car deserves a couple of Cheerios in the seatbelt hole.
Lego mans.
You know? Yeah, Lego man.
There's some Lego mans.
One of my Lego mans is living in the car now. That's his fate.
He has a little habitat in that little pocket on the lower part of the door. That's where his home is. It's his enclosure.
Should we do a water bottle from 1989? He likes it there. He's got water. He's fine. His favorite music is on.
Should we do plugs?
Yeah.
Y'all ready for this?
Find our Patreon bonus episodes, merch, Discord, and more at whatatimepod.com. And follow us on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram at whatatimepod. Check out CAF's other podcast, Lie, Cheat, and Steal, about liars, frauds, thieves, and bullshitters. Theme song by Naughty Professor. Thanks for listening, and best of luck.
Eli, plug your special again.
Hey, January 24th, The Gutter. Shows at 7:30 and 9:30. You can buy tickets at tickets.eliuden.com. Please buy them. It's actually good for my anxiety if people buy them early, even though I know it's cool to buy them late and close to the event, because then I'm not panicked that I will perform to no one. If you already bought a ticket, hey, awesome. Good job. Thank you.
I would like to plug the little Catalonia shitting figure that Patty just sent, which is the Scream guy in a Scream mask with its whole ass out. It's all black. And then just bare ass.
Ghostface has the knife. The knife is in like killing position.
He's defending himself because he has a vulnerable. He's in a vulnerable moment. He's got to be on alert.
And I sent a second.
I would like to plug that.
I sent a second one also. I don't know if you saw that.
The ET is good. It has the red finger
with the
glowing.
red finger. Yeah, and ET doesn't really have a squatting. ET does not have much of a squatting body.
Squat.
So ET just kind of
where he is,
standing in front of a turd. That's kind of
like
what
a horse.
Fingers on though. His finger is on.
He's got that thing on him. He's ready.
Yeah.
So, I would also like to plug those. I have nothing to plug, so go watch Eli's special.
Folks.
Oh, go to Tommy McNamara's The Christmas Boy if you're in New York.
Oh yeah, Christmas Boy is awesome.
December 19th,
when
Union Hall. We just bought tickets, so we will be there. So
it's so much fun.
Yeah, go check it out.
Bye bye everyone.
Bye.